I have isopods. I have isopods. It took so much longer than it was supposed to. I have isopods, no thanks to stupid Canada Postman who pretended to try and contact me about it and literally just gave me a slip telling me that it would be another extra day, but I went to the post office anyway, and then I had to go again. I finally have them though, so unboxing time. Okay, so here we have the Persillio laevis dairy cow. As you can see, they're very chonky, very adorable, climbing all around the sphagnum moss there. Look at him, he fell out. So cute. Since having these guys for a while, they are really, really fond of moss. They have some nice, beautiful green moss you can see there. Green living moss, and it's got some little plants and stuff in it as well. I am really not a fan of sphagnum moss. I think it looks horrible and it's just not for me. I understand the novelty of it, or I understand its use, but I hate sphagnum moss. From what I've researched online, dairy cows are quite fond of burrowing. They seem to really, really love fish flakes. And they didn't start off as friendly as I was expecting them to be, but since having them for a while, they are quite a bit more active and outgoing than you would probably expect from an isopod. This is my blurry operation to extract the chonky boys. You can definitely tell that the dairy cows are fans of moss, seeing as I had to pry all of the moss out to get them into their new home. They are much, much bigger than I was expecting them to be. They don't get as big as, say, your giant canyon isopods, which is wild for me to think about because the dairy cows are far bigger than I was expecting. Which means that the giant canyon isopods and other giant kinds of isopods get even bigger, which is pretty wild. And there they are, all in their new home. Binned up. And it's time for the Persillio scaber. I got the orange Dalmatian kind, or morph. And there they are, the little orange Dalmatians. From here on, I decided it's probably a better idea, instead of waiting a million years for them to come out on their own, just to pull the sphagnum moss out and get them in their bin as quickly as possible. Another blurry extraction for you. I I know that there are koi fish morphs as well, but I do find that the orange Dalmatian look quite a bit like koi fish. They're very pretty. One of the main ways Porcellio laevis is different than Porcellio scaber, those dairy cows I just had, is that they are considered a hard-bodied isopod rather than a soft-bodied isopod. So if something falls on them or there's more pressure on them, they're less likely to die from it because their exoskeletons are a lot stronger than other types of isopod. That's just what I've researched. I could be wrong about it, but then so is the person I got that information from, so... I will say the sphagnum moss doesn't look terrible in there. With all the other moss and foliage, you can see some pumpkin leaves that I baked for them. They ate those so quickly. They absolutely loved the pumpkin leaves. And here you can kind of see those really rough, hard scales of their exoskeleton, how it kind of protrudes. You can kind of start to see how much more armored their bodies are. And now the last isopod is the Porcellionis pruinosus, which I almost definitely did not say correctly. These would be powder blues and powder oranges. I got a party mix of them. And then I think there are some, I don't know, some default skins in there as well. I don't know, what do you call it when it's just their natural coloring and it's not a morph? I call it the default skin, but yeah, so here they are. These ones I have found to be a lot more active, a lot more engaging, especially early on. They have kind of calmed down a little bit now that they're more well established. And I have noticed a shift where the pruinosis are not quite as active as they were, and the dairy cows are quite a bit more active. I also wonder if it is environmental conditions, because since then the dairy cows have also gotten quite a lot more moss because they seemed very fond of it. And I think they might have more wood as well now, more bark. But the pruinosis are not quite as active from what I've noticed as they were in the first couple of weeks. You can see how striking the powder orange can be, especially on the green leaves that they eat. Here they all are munching on pumpkin leaves. You know what, now that I'm saying it out loud, it's probably because they don't have pumpkin leaves to eat. Maybe that's what they were doing. They were so active because they loved the pumpkin leaves. I'll have to go out into the garden and gather some more for them, because you can see they're really just all about those pumpkin leaves. This guy I was concerned about. I thought he might have been a little bit too blue, looking a little sus. There is a disease common to isopods that will turn them bright, bright blue, and they will die shortly after, but he only looked quite blue compared to the other orange ones, and it turned out to be nothing. So here's the dairy cows again. You can see the big chonky man. Absolutely stunning.
You still murdered? I mean, you of all people should know. It's a lot to ask of someone to be married to the sea. No, that's the captain's duty. We vow ourselves to one lady, and that is... the cruel mistress that is the ocean.